Pat Kopi, Senior Menu Editor at Restaurant Business, and I'm here with Kelly Clancy, Managing Partner with RPM Restaurants in Chicago. Welcome, Kelly.
Hi, Pat. It's so nice to see you again. Thank you for having me.
It's so great to see you. So tell me a little bit about the session you're doing at the show.
Absolutely. Yeah. So we're doing a session based on hospitality sustainability with a focus on how you can save a little bit of money to the bottom line, but also just efforts you can make every day in your restaurants to be a better steward to the environment. So we're talking about composting. We're talking about eliminating single-use plastics. We're talking about sustainable uniforms. I mean, everybody has different things to speak about, but on the panel, Sylvia Perez is going to moderate, which is exciting. And then we have Joe Frillman from Daisy's in Chicago, and also Heidi from Big Delicious Planet, which will be awesome. So.
Well, tell me what you're doing with composting in Chicago with a local company, you know, that you're partnered with for RPM Restaurants. Well, I guess for more than RPM Restaurants.
Yeah, the Oakville participates, RPM Restaurants participate, Pizzeria Portofino participates. Restaurants across Let Us Entertain You. But we've partnered with Waste Not, and they are an incredible Chicago-based company. They also compost in Milwaukee and the surrounding suburban areas too. But we've been doing that for about 2.5 years now with great success. I think we've composted over like 500,000 tons, and they also help us with our recycling programs. So they're able to recycle our glass programs, and then we participate in cardboard baling programs also. But our goal is just to take as much out of the landfill that we possibly can and decrease that landfill waste and decrease those gas emissions.
How much training did that involve of your staff, you know, not to figure out what could be compostable, what could be recyclable, you know, not to throw everything in the trash?
Yeah, it takes training every single day. It's a valid question. We have signs up like throughout the restaurant, so we post them at the hand washing machines, we post them at the prep areas, we post them at the dish machines, just trying to keep those visuals. But then Waste Not, as our partner, again, they're an incredible partner. They come into pre-shifts once a quarter or as often as we ask them to, and they'll meet with the front of house and back of house staff.
That's cool.
Like on-site education.
Yeah, I mean, I live in New York, and we just started composting in all the apartment buildings.
Very cool.
So we have like a bin down in the basement.
Yeah.
And it's really taking some education of the people who live there, because, you know, like everyone's used to just throwing everything in the trash. And so I have like a little coffee can on my sink, and I'm putting peels in it and coffee grounds and things like that. But then you have to take it down to the basement and dump it in the composting. So I don't know how successful it's been so far, but it's really only a couple of months that they've done it.
It's worth the effort. For us, like we try to tell ourselves and tell our staff, if it grows, it goes. So if it grows,
motto.
it goes into the compost.
Right.
If it doesn't grow, then just keep it out of the compost.
We should put that in my apartment building.
Absolutely, yeah. Maybe you can make signs. If it grows, it goes, and post them all over the place.
And your beverage program is now 100% recyclable, is that correct?
Yeah, we've switched over to cans in areas where we don't have soda guns. Our water is all glass-based, so those all go directly into the recycling bins. And then, obviously our liquor program has been glass-based for a very, very long time. But water is all glass, and sodas and cans, no plastic bottles. We used to have a lot of the small plastic bottles for banquets and catering, and now San Pellegrino gets us all small glass bottles. So they understand that's part of our programming, and they've also been a great partner.
So tell me about catering. I know that you're doing a lot there with recyclables and also switching over to materials that are better for the environment.
Yeah, our composting programs, we do our best to extend into our catering program. So we do a lot of off-premise catering. So we try to bring bins and buckets with us so we can help compost in those sort of scenarios. And then for drop-off catering, we do a good amount of business there. We always lived in a world of big plastics, and we've partnered with Waste Not on containers, and we're doing our best to move away from those big, huge plastic containers that will never break down. Right. The small forks, the small spoons, the small containers, you can get a lot of mini plant-based material now, like a lot of corn-based material. Those can be compostable. And if they don't get composted, at least they break down in the landfills at a better rate. So we're working on everything we can do there. There's different technologies that have been able to help with catering too. So, I think we're just scratching the surface of all the things that we can do, because the default has been so easy for so many years.
Right.
But we just need to do a better job.
So bamboo plates are kind of a mainstream now. When
They are, but they're very expensive. So I understand why people still don't use them all the time.
right.
And there are some other types of compostable material plates that we've started to do work with a lot more than bamboo, to be honest.
Oh, like what are they made out of?
Corn materials.
Oh, yeah.
Corn products.
I did see somebody in the beverage pavilion with corn-based straws and other, toothpicks. I don't know what else they were doing, but it was all beverage related.
Yeah, I'm going to meet with a company around 3, I think, and they do a lot of that.
Yeah.
So I'm interested to see what they're working on.
And then I also met this supplier who does agave-based straws, because he has a tequila company.
Amazing.
And he uses the waste to make straws.
That's great. I'll need to get their contact from you. We have a great straw that breaks down, but that's a very cool concept.
Yeah, I really like that.
I love that.
At the show, are you going to be obviously looking for more sustainable, materials and that kind of thing?
I think we're fortunate in Chicago that composting has not been difficult, but in our other states and cities, it's been very difficult. So there's a couple of different products here that I know they use on cruise ships. And I know cruise ships have a really bad rep. People think they're very wasteful, but cruise ships actually do a lot to reduce their amount of waste. And there's some waste reduction machines here that they have turbines inside of them, and then they have natural microbes that help break down the food. So they compost themselves over a period of time. They hook up to your water system. So I'm very excited to see what they can do and what they look like. I don't have any exposure to them. I don't know about them, but I'm excited to learn more.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
And so what else is Let Us Entertain You doing? I mean, I know you have a lot of restaurants in Chicago, and you're spreading out to LA and Washington, D.C., and where else?
Yeah, we just opened a summer house in Las Vegas. Oh. And a couple years ago, we opened up a summer house in Disney Springs. So we're definitely interested in exploring what Florida has to offer. We have a couple of properties that are opening in Texas. We already have a very successful restaurant there, but looking to expand more there. And then we have a couple of concepts going to Nashville. So,
fun.
Definitely reaching out into new cities, exploring new markets.
Are you going to be pushing sustainability in all of those markets too?
Yeah, that is definitely the goal. And maybe it doesn't start with composting per se, but maybe it's how do we get a better egg that's more friendly to the environment? How do we get a better piece of beef that's more eco-conscious? There are things that we can do for restaurants that haven't started yet, but to take small steps. Straws are simple. It's easy. Don't use them, and if you are using them, there are so many compostable, dissolvable straws. How do you get rid of single-use plastics? Those are easy things that every restaurateur here could start to look at today if they haven't already.
Do you see restaurants doing more wine on tap because they want to eliminate the bottles, or even the shipping costs, I guess?
I haven't personally, but you definitely read about it. I'm not saying I read a lot about it. Have I visually seen it? Not a ton.
Yeah. So anything else that Let Us Entertain You is doing that you want to mention, coming up in the next couple of months? Even on the menu, what's happening at RPM on the menu?
Yeah, we have some incredible beef that we've been sourcing, responsibly raised at RPM Steak. So that's very, very exciting. I think our concepts are the most exciting. The Nashville growth is really exciting. The Texas growth is really exciting, and looking at new projects across the country.
Oh, great. Well, thank you so much, Kelly. This has been really fun.
I appreciate you. Thanks for having me back.
Yeah, definitely.
It's always nice to see you.
Have a good show.
Cool. Thank you.